During the early stages of the Second World War, Lufthansa requested the development of a large transatlantic flying boat. From this requirement, the Blohm Voss BV 222 Wiking was created, designed to connect Berlin and New York in roughly 20 hours while carrying passengers and cargo, and later converted into a military transport aircraft. But Blohm Voss were not satisfied. They believed it was possible to create an even larger and more efficient flying boat. Thus, as early as 1940, shortly after the first flight of the BV 222, they presented the P200 project, a far larger Colossus. This is the story of the P200 and why it was never built. The large flying boat was conceived to carry up to 120 passengers on 3 decks, with spacious and luxurious interior accommodation. On the middle deck, there was a central dining room with 65 seats, while the upper deck housed an elegant lounge. The hull also offered additional cargo holds at both the bow and stern. With an estimated takeoff weight of around 225 tons, a beam of 5.4 meters, and a height equivalent to a 3-story building, the P200 would have been a true giant of the aquatic sky. To lift it, ordinary engines would not have sufficed. 8 colossal BMW 803 power plants were required, each formed by coupling 2 radial engines together for a total of 28 cylinders arranged in 4 banks. Each unit drove a pair of coaxial contra-rotating propellers, eliminating most of the torque reaction and improving overall efficiency. Together, these 8 engines would have produced more than 32,000 horsepower, enough to push the P200 to an estimated maximum speed of only 390 kilometers per hour. The wing, as in many other Blohm Voss designs, was built around a tubular steel spar that also served as the main fuel tank, holding the entire fuel load of 70,000 kilograms. But the most astonishing feature was its exceptionally thick profile, which allowed engineers to move inside the wings during flight and work directly on the engines. Structurally, the project was simply a much larger version of the BV 222. In January 1941, the project was halted. The German Air Ministry requested from Blohm Voss a new long-range flying boat, larger than the BV 222, but less gigantic than the P200, the aircraft that would become the BV 238. But take a moment to imagine the scene. Imagine that massive hull, as long as a football pitch, gliding across the shimmering waters of New York Harbor or through the waves of the North Sea. Imagine 120 passengers crossing the Atlantic in a 3-deck civil giant designed for pure luxury. Once again, Blohm Voss attempted to distinguish itself in the aeronautical landscape with unconventional projects.